Today's a great day for reading, and I'm excited to welcome you back to Hanging with Sloth Stories with Mrs. Carter. Today I'd like to give a big shout out to my friend Tammy's grandkids. They have been watching on the internet. So I would like to give a shout out to Mason, Maddox, Memphis, Morrison, and Parker. And 3 more kids from my Gubser classroom. Big shout out to Ella, Caden, and Zane. I hope you'll be able to enjoy our story today. We've been reading Stick Dog, which is written and illustrated by Tom Watson. And today we are starting Stick Dog Chapter 4. An acorn drops in the forest. With Stick Dog in the lead, all 5 dogs sprinted off in search of yummy hamburgers. 20 paws charging across the twigs, leaves, and sticks of the forest floor created a thunderous racket. But it was a thunderous racket only for a couple of minutes. Then something happened. Poo-Poo saw a squirrel. "Stop! Everybody stop!" Poo-Poo yelled as he skidded to a halt. Karen, Stripes, and Mutt stopped quickly beside Poo-Poo. "What?" they asked. "Up there!" Poo-Poo exclaimed and lifted his nose in the air to point. "Squirrel in the oak tree!" The 4 dogs gathered around the trunk of the tree. Stick Dog stood off to the side. The smell of those hamburgers was even stronger now. "Hey guys," said Stick Dog, "let's keep going and track down those hamburgers." "I'm starting to get hungry." Poo-Poo snapped his head toward Stick Dog and looked him in the eye. "You must not have heard me. There's a squirrel up there." He turned back to the tree. Stick Dog knew this delay would only make his hunger worse. He said, "I heard you, Poo-Poo, and I know how important squirrels are to you. I really do. It's just that—" "They're more than just important to me," said Poo-Poo. "That's a gross under-exaggeration. Squirrels are my arch enemies. Dun, dun, dun. Ever since I was a puppy on the dairy farm, they've been torturing me." "You grew up on a dairy farm, Poo-Poo?" Mutt asked. Don't know if you can see it, but right here, the squirrel is up in the tree, and he's saying, "Ha, ha, 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 ha." "I think so. I remember there were cows everywhere," he answered, never once taking his eyes off his enemy in the tree. "And there were squirrels everywhere too, with their sniffy little noses and their chattering sounds. And then those puffy tails. Oh, I can't stand those puffy tails. Like they're so great. Look at us. We have puffy tails. Aren't we so special?" Stick Dog came a step closer and glanced up into the oak tree. "Poo-Poo, I might not feel as strongly as you do about squirrels." "They're evil," Poo-Poo interrupted. "Truly evil." Okay, they're evil," said Stick Dog. "I just wonder why we have to worry about this particular squirrel in this particular tree at this particular time, when our way to find tasty hamburgers with a good strategy and some good teamwork, we could be feasting on hamburgers in no time." Poo-Poo was quiet and still. Stick Dog hoped that he was absorbing the words and would decide to abandon the squirrel and continue their mission. "Did you see that?" Poo-Poo screamed. "It just twitched its tail at me. Arg, I can't stand it when they do that. That drives me crazy." "Could you just forget about it this one time?" Stick Dog asked. Poo-Poo paused and considered. "Well, maybe." And then the squirrel dropped an acorn on Poo-Poo's head. Poo-Poo jumped up, barking furiously, and put his front paws as high as he could on the trunk of the tree. "Why, you rotten, little, furry, no-good, fuzzy-tailed, nut-eating, acorn-dropping, sneaky, tree-climbing beast!" he yelled. "What happened?" asked Karen. "You're not going to believe what that fuzzy gray trickster did to me," exclaimed Poo-Poo. What did he do?" asked Mutt and Stripes. That puffy-tailed, nose-twitching, branch-jumping little scoundrel dropped an acorn on my head. He didn't, said Karen. I can't believe it. He did, Poo-Poo answered, his eyes fixed on the top branches of that tree. This is the last time, said Poo-Poo, now circling the tree and growling at the uppermost branches. I've had it with their twitchy tails and their oh-so-superior tree jumping skills and fancy wire walking expertise. And I've really had it with their acorn dropping ways. It's time to see things right and restore the natural order of things. Dogs are better than squirrels, and today I'm going to prove it. How are you going to do that, Poo-Poo? Asked Karen. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking I'll just wait here until that squirrel comes down, said Poo-Poo. He stopped and brought a paw to his chin. But that might be a while. That nasty little gray fluff ball probably has a stash of food up there somewhere. That would be just like a squirrel. So what are you going to do? Asked Mutt. I'll just have to find a way up. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but dogs can't climb trees. And this presented a dilemma. Do you know what a dilemma is? It's when you have a choice among things to do, but none of the options is very good. Let's see. Let me think of an example. Okay, here's one. It's dinner time, and you have 2 vegetables to choose from, overcooked green beans or steamed cauliflower. And your mom says you have to pick one. You, my vegetable-avoiding friend, are now faced with a dilemma. Actually, I don't mind cauliflower that much, except it kind of looks like brains. And let's face it, that's not something you want to be thinking about when you're eating. I just ruined cauliflower for you, didn't I? Well, enjoy your overcooked green beans. So Poo-Poo's dilemma was this. He could wait for that squirrel to come down, which could take forever. Or he could find a way up, which is pretty tough for a dog who can't climb trees. After a few laps around that tree with his face contorted in deep thought, Poo-Poo stopped and stood before his 4 friends. Does anyone here have a huge rubber band? He asked, about 6 feet long and really, really stretchy. Stick Dog shook his head. So did Karen and Stripes. Fresh out, answered Mutt. Why do you want one? Asked Karen. Well, with all the trees around here, I thought I could string a giant rubber band between a couple of trunks to create a slingshot. Then I could shoot my way up there to get that whisker-twitching menace to society. Mutt, Karen, and Stripes nodded understanding. Stick Dog didn't say anything. How about a cannon? Anybody have a cannon? Poo-Poo asked. Same principle as the slingshot, just a different kind of shooting mechanism. Anybody? Stick Dog, Karen, and Stripes shook their heads again. Not with me, replied Mutt. Dang it, Poo-Poo said. He began to tap his left forepaw against the ground in rapid taps. He was thinking hard, very hard. I got it. Somebody here has to have a trampoline, right? You know, those big contraptions with the springs around the outside and a big rubbery circle thing in the middle? I've seen humans jumping real high on those things. Do any of you have one of those? Anyone? I'm thinking of Lily in my classroom right now. She just got a new trampoline. Stick Dog said he didn't. Stripes and Karen did the same. Mutt splayed his legs and shook his whole body as if he thought there was a chance a trampoline might fall out of his fur. He studied the ground beneath him and seemed disappointed to find there was no trampoline. Not today, he answered. This is great, just great, Poo-Poo moaned. Here I have this devious, conniving chatterbox practically within my grasp, and I can't finish the job. Finally, Stick Dog rose to his feet. He knew the squirrel was not practically within Poo-Poo's grasp at all. But he also knew that he had to get to the park as fast as possible if they wanted any chance at a hamburger feast. Every minute of delay meant their hamburger would grow more, would prove that their hamburger hunger would grow more severe. It also meant the hamburgers might be eaten before they even had a chance to grab them. Stick Dog knew he had to act. He came to the tree, stood shoulder to shoulder with Poo Poo, and whispered to him, "I see what you mean now. That acorn dropping on your head made it all too clear. It's time to deal with this tail twitcher." Poo Poo, clearly surprised, turned his head and stared at Stick Dog. "Poo Poo's right," Stick Dog shouted up in the general direction of the squirrel. He couldn't really see it, but that didn't really matter to him. "I've had it with this sniveling, tail-shaking chattermouth. Sounds like you make." Mutt, Karen, and Stripes all stared at Stick Dog too, curiosity and surprise on their faces. "We can wait all week if we have to. No food, no water, no problem." Stick Dog was doing his best to look as tough as he could. He squinted his eyes and tried to snarl. It was not something he was very good at. "Do you smell that hamburger aroma coming from the park, you fuzzy tail shaker? Do you?" The squirrel was paying no attention. It was digging the nut out from an acorn shell. The dogs, however, had rediscovered the scent of hamburger. Their noses were lifted in the air. "See how good that smells?" Stick Dog continued, shouting. "Well, we don't care one bit. Those humans can cook 1,000,000 tasty hamburgers and eat them all. So what if we don't get any?" Stick Dog," Mutt whispered. There was a look of concern on his face. "If we have to wait until we're just skin and bones and grilling season is over and we never eat again, that's fine by us," Stick Dog continued. Stick Dog, could I have a word with you?" asked Karen. She appeared bothered as well. Stick Dog pretended not to hear. He shouted, "Hey, you up there, I want you to know that I agree 100% with Poo Poo. I'll gladly sacrifice a chance at delicious, juicy hamburgers. So what if we haven't had anything to eat since yesterday morning? So what if we never get another chance like this again?" "Excuse me, Stick Dog," said Stripes. But Stick Dog went on. "I know that meaty juice and smoky flavor will be the best we ever tasted. And it would be so nice to have warm food for a change. We almost always find cold food. We never get warm food like hamburgers from the grill. But it doesn't matter. We're not going anywhere." "Stick Dog," Poo Poo tried to interrupt. But Stick Dog kept going. "Just to show you how committed I am going to take a big sniff of the air and not leave. Are you watching?" Stick Dog took a huge sniff of the air. And as he suspected they would, the other dogs did too. The wind was drifting in the perfect direction, blowing the mouth-watering, hamburger-scented breeze right to them. He heard the slow, deep rumble of the other dogs' stomachs. From the corner of his eye, he saw Poo Poo close his eyes and lick his lips. "Doesn't that smell extra delicious, Mr. Twitchy Pants?" Stick Dog said to the squirrel. "I can almost taste them. We don't care though. We're not leaving. No way." "Huh? Stick Dog?" "Yes, Poo Poo," Stick Dog answered, not lowering his eyes yet. "I'm thinking," Poo Poo said, "that maybe we should go get those hamburgers and worry about proving our superiority to squirrels later." "Stick Dog," Poo Poo declared, "I've never been so sure of anything in my life." Stick Dog lowered his head and stretched his legs, preparing for the rest of the journey to Picasso Park. "If you're sure that's what you want to do, Poo Poo." Poo Poo nodded quickly and wagged his tail. "What are we waiting for? Let's go." Without even looking up, Poo Poo ran past the oak tree and the squirrel that was in it. Stick Dog smiled. "To the park," he said to Mutt, Stripes, and Karen, and off they ran. Join me next time, friends, for the next exciting chapter of Stick Dog. And by the way, if you'd like to get a shout out, please be sure to send me a comment. And I challenge you to draw me a picture of whatever type of dog you would like to draw. You could even make it a stick dog. And a picture maybe of the food that they're going to the park to get. I hope you have a great rest of the day and happy reading, friends.